suspension rods. So this is an Amana, and these are very prone to suspension rod problems. Very prone. You know, if you get the suspension rods that are OEM, I've noticed OEM Whirlpool Corporation factory certified parts is an OEM part, and this is the model number W10780045, as we in the industry like to call these are 45s. Use the last two numbers. So, are we going to drop water all over the place? Nah. So what we need to do is get a 1/4 inch wrench. All these screws are going to be extras. And there's 3 screws back here that you need to take off. This one, you'll see this little tab that sticks up. This one on this other tab. And then you have to take this wiring harness cover off. Just set all that aside there. Now once you do that, let's get another lanyard. We get the same one. This time we can untie it. This one you just pull the top forward, kind of wiggle it a little bit, throw your lid open, and put a lanyard here and a lanyard here, and make sure that those tabs are fitting in those slots on both sides. That way you can lean it over and there won't be any problems. Now these, somebody has tried people come in, they watch stuff on YouTube. That usually doesn't work. Somebody has put some zip ties on this thing. Tried to modify. Good lordy. Yep, they try to modify things there. You can't do it. You just change the rods. Anyway, to get these rods out, they have to come out from the bottom. They don't have slots in them. But you pull this up, take this hanger loose, and drop it. And you're going to be removing these cups. Now, what you can do is you're going to have to fish those out from the bottom. Where is my knee saver? Got me a knee saver. Kneeling down on concrete, don't cut it. Now you reach up in there and you fish that out of there. And you may have to wiggle it a little bit to get that white thing right there loose. And now we want to put the new ones in. Now I notice these Whirlpool factory parts always come in these triangular boxes. And I will show you why these things fail. Up in here is a little foam piece that squeezes against this rod called a linear damper, and it keeps that. It's hard to push down, and it dampens the movement of those springs. Now, a worn out one, you just do like that. But now you can reach up in here, and I do this by feel. There is the hole that it came out of. There it is. And I guess I should lay it down and show you. Let me do that, since this is a demonstration. I'll lay this thing down where you can see what I'm doing. Now you see, it's got that well right there. You can mostly feel, and these little white things, you stick those through and they'll hang on there. But, and that's in all four corners. Now, oh lordy. So it's spinning without going into neutral. So we need to change the neutral drain kit in that. We'll have to change the neutral drain kit in it, and it has overcome the motor. So I'll need to pull the transmission out, change the neutral drain kit, and let's see if we can get, we got enough to get a siphon going. Yeah, make a mud hole back here. We get a siphon going there, and we can drain all that water out. It's always thumping. Alright, now we're taking these cups out. These are the old ones. We need to replace the cups and get these hangers. And I want to get my specialty tool out that I made from an old suspension rod. That's the strain on that motor. You hear it clicking. It overheats and shuts off. So anyway, you want to reach in here, so you can see that. Reach in with your tool and you grab that other one and you pick up. Now if you don't have one of these made, you can take one of the old rods, like this one, and just put a bend in it, and then you can reach in there and grab that hook and pick up. But I am a clever lad, and I made me a suspension rod hook. But if you don't have one, this is what you can do with them. Now there are all kinds of videos out there on ways to modify this, to fix them without buying the rods, and they're mostly gimmicks, and they just don't work. The one I have seen lately that may work, and I haven't been able to test it myself, what is that? Ben's Appliances and Junk has new sponge adapters, and they take a foam similar to this one that is very dense, and probably take a you hear that clicking? That clicking is it's going back and forth between the start windings and the run windings. Because it got such a load on it, because it hasn't had time to drain out. But anyway, Ben has taken something like that, cut some new dampers out of it, and they're split, and he'll take this white piece off, spread it out, cut the old damper off, put the new one in with some dampening grease with it, and replace the linear dampers, which is a lot cheaper than replacing. The springs don't go out, it's the linear damper on there. I still think OEM rods are probably the best solution.
Please charge it in time.
But I haven't tried that. Let me charge it in time. Alright, so we got the front ones. Let's do these back ones. That's a weak motor. But I think I went to Ben's site, and he either sold out of that or doesn't have enough supply to provide them. But Ben's a pretty sharp guy. But all of the gimmicks that I have seen to try to re-engineer those fail every time. It's not a good thing. But as far as fixing those things, that might be a good fix. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to test it. I hate to test it on a customer's machine. Maybe when I get one in here to sell and I'll be able to keep for a while, I can get some of that, or make some of my own out of foam similar to that, real dense foam, and maybe run 50 loads through it. Just continuously run loads through it, trying to see if it's going to work over time. Here comes another one. Let me get back to you. Okay, man, they are coming in here today. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Finish that one. 6 more shop jobs, and I got like 5 service calls I gotta do. Lord. And this video to do. So anyway, let's get this one finished. Alright, I already took the rods out. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So we want to put these new rods in. And you see me what I did, but I'm doing this by feel. And when you get it in that hole, you can tell it's in there if you shake. And it hangs. Yeah, I believe I got it. There we go. Now, make sure those tabs are on it. And let's put our new cups in. And these don't have dampening grease on them, these Amanas. They've got, actually these cups are kind of, I guess they must be nylon, but they're kind of like a Teflon coating. They're really slick. And they move. I guess they're designed to move. If they needed dampening grease, they'd put it on there. But yeah, what I was saying is, don't fiddle around trying to re-engineer these things. The best thing to do is just to get you some OEM rods and fix it. Now, the other thing about these machines, if you change these rods, you can still have an out of balance condition. And you can have an out of balance condition because of the tub being bent. And the way to tell if your tub is bent is you take a reference point on this splash guard, and you look at this inside balance ring, and you just kind of look straight up and down on it and spin the basket, and you see how this basket's wobbling? That means it is bent. So with Chip's handy dandy basket balancing device, which I invented, and I ought to market these things, you can realign this basket. So what I do is and you can do this for most baskets that have a central post. If it's got a wash plate, there's nothing to push against. But you want to get the point on this side where it is the furthest away from the center. Alright. Where my hand is. Right there, furthest away. And you want to go to a point directly opposite that. Somewhere around here. And you want to position, you may have to loosen this up here. Oh, going the wrong way. Okay, there we go. Alright, make sure I'm in the right spot again. I'm already pushing. I am. So I need to, the way I do it is I usually push it until I hear it crack. Alright, I'm going to hurt it. Now I want to, well, not often, you just want to take the tension off of it. And now let's see. Look at there, almost perfect. All right. Yeah, now we got it. Still a little wobble in it, but not enough to matter. All right, got some more customers. Let me get back to you. Okay, so we got this fixed, and it does not bounce now. So let's put it back together, and it's going to be number 3 in line, or number 2 now. First one we're going to do is check that one. And we know this one needs help. It's got to have a neutral drain kit in the transmission. And once we fix that, we'll hope that motor will quit clicking and going off. Let's unplug it so it doesn't come back on. It's getting overheated doing that. We're going to burn the motor out. Alright, once that dries out, we'll change machines. We'll pull that agitator. Yeah, got to pull the agitator to get the transmission out. But let's consign these to the junk pile. Yeah, I'm making a mess back here. Wally. Alright, let's put this. Here we go. Put all this back together. Now when you put this down, make sure that it locks in right here, because sometimes if you just drop it, it's not going to lock. So you got it slipped forward like that. Make sure it goes down in the slots. Push it and then try to lift up, and it'll be okay. If you don't, it'll just chatter like a chatterbug. There we go. Yeah, when put this in here. Some people take these out and they'll put a screw right there, not knowing what they're doing. This just fits in those 2 slots, and you lock it down.